Saying right now, he will have to make that change. He has to make the call, and this is the time to do it before the game gets out of reach.
That's hit hard. That's the third boundary in the over. That's some class from Craig Irvin, who's controlling proceedings, and now lesser runs required and more deliveries available. 95 over 103.
Hussein, having bowled a full ball earlier on, decided to go a bit short, but not having that amount of pace to bowl that short ball, giving Craig Irvine enough time to pick up that gap and pull it perfectly in between.
Driven nicely and beats Ahmed Jamal once again. 4 boundaries in the over. That's a very expensive over with 18 coming off it. 200 up for Zimbabwe. 5 for 1, so 17 to go. And finally we see Shahnawaz Dhani into the attack from the City end. This could be the make and break of this game. It can go either way. Next couple of overs will decide who's getting to that finishing line first. Nice looking drive.
Joylord Gumbe, somewhat more comfortable now, has been playing his strokes more freely, just picking out the gap and extra cover. Here's a sweeper. These are 3 fours that were hit in the previous, 4 fours that were hit in the previous over by Sean Irvine. Hussein won't be happy with that previous over, leaking 18 runs from it.
Just during that drinks break, Pakistan's bowling coach, of course, and you might see Ahmed Jamal, because this is now or never.
With that single, Zimbabwe's partnership moving to 199 off 195 balls. Irvine and Gumbi have done well in controlling the Zimbabwean innings, and the Zimbabwe Chargers will be looking forward to seeing them crossing the finish line. On the other hand, the Pakistan Chargers will be looking to their strike bowlers to try and break this partnership, to give them answers.
He's pushing it hard for that second. Mubassir reaches the ball, so does well running in from that big boundary. He's been very impressive, Gombi, today. He's understood his role very clearly, batting with his captain. Gets that odd boundary going. His running between the wicket has been excellent. Earlier he was playing a lot of dot balls, but now he's closing in on that gap. 78 of 94. Oh, that's a good call from Gumbi. Captain had his back. Well, captain of the national side, rather. But that is exactly what I'm talking about. Even on a miss hit, you're not missing out on the opportunities.
Just seeing the opportunity to steal a run. He calls him, and it calls for yes loud. Steal a single and move them to 209 for 1.
That's trust factor. He wasn't looking at his partner, just a shout, and he ran for it. Had he not, there was no way Gumbi was getting back. Good stop, brilliant stop, and good release from the fielder there.
Well done, man. Over.
Umair bin Yusuf, end of the over, 34 gone, 2-1-0. This partnership now is 202 over 198 balls. And that's courtesy some great running between the wickets and also attacking the part-timers. That one, look at Craig Irvin, he's got his back to his partner. It's only the shout that he hears, and he starts running. From where Gumbi is, had Irvin not reacted, he wouldn't have gotten back to his non-striker's crease, never. And that's the trust that you can develop. We have a partnership of 202.
They have a common understanding of one another now. And Amar will be looking to break this partnership. He's been called on by his captain to do so. And the Pakistan Shaheens will be backing him and hoping that this is the time that this partnership is stopped.
And the double change has been brought in. Just probably feel a little too late. Would have liked to see one of the two, bowling when Craig Irvin entered the 90s. After scoring those 35 runs of just 3 overs from Hussain Talib, the confidence level is completely on a different level.
Amir, in his last overs of his previous spell, had forced Craig Irvin into some false shots. Full toss, just the single. Gumbi would have wanted to get a better shot off that. Not a usual loose delivery from Amir. Maybe his legs are getting tired.
Still 5.48 is the required run rate. Giving a few tips to Nayuchi. Pakistan bowling coach has asked Shima. Leg stump line. Easy 2. Minus from the remaining 85.
So decent over so far for Amir. Just 3 runs so far in the 4 deliveries. His previous ball being a full toss, and this one just maybe going a little too straight, allowing Craig Irvine to pick up the gap on the leg side. They want to tighten things up, not necessarily slow down the run rate, but rather take a couple of quick wickets so that the table could lean in their favor again.
A relaxed dressing room. They like what they're watching. 1 wicket down, 213 out of the way. 83 more needed. And they've got 15.1 overs to do that. So that equation is pretty much on their side. Unless something drastic happens, and Pakistan shines now, they don't need to break this partnership. They need more than a couple of wickets right away to get their foot back into the game. .35 gone, 213.
Pakistan Shaheens and Zim Select. This has been the tale of the partnership between Gumbi and Irvine. Gumbi just looking for a single, bring Irvine back on strike. They have had a good understanding, and deservedly so. 206-run partnership. And the ball just holding up now. You know, it's getting into the 36th over. It doesn't have that shine anymore, not as hard as it was in the earlier overs. Not getting that swing, just coming onto the bat easier. With these 2 set batsmen, and he'll be seeing that ball the size of a soccer ball.
Oh, nicely done by Gumbi. Now, that's not an edge. That's very deliberate. He's just waited for that, and then last moment using the pace, just opens the face slightly and beats the keeper's dive.
It's just that soft hands in his wrists. Just waiting for the last most opportune moment and guiding that just shy of the wicket keeper. Leaving the third man desperate and just watching it go over the boundary. Runs keep on coming. Pakistan Shaheens need to come up with an answer. They need 2 quick wickets here.
Up edge, oh, almost fingertips right there. Didn't quite get hold of that pull shot. And short mid-wicket, outstretched to the right.
Getting it hard into the ground. Gumbi never comfortable with the pull shot. Half chance. And that would have definitely done it for the Shaheens. Unfortunately, just not managing to get his fingers around it.
I tell you that. Bending his back and just playing that to the right of third. You do get that kind of confidence when you know your side is in such a strong position. I mean, now 516 runs have already been scored, and just tells you the importance of how an opportunity, if it comes your way, should be grabbed. He was on 49, Craig Irvin, when he was dropped by Omer bin Yusuf, and then there's been no looking back. So he's making you pay for that drop, and the bowlers are having to bend their backs. Nothing coming their way. Nice looking shot. It's the placement that's the key. Completely controlling the game at the moment. Zimbabwe select 2.
They've had to try and mix up their bowling, but to no avail. Full length. Attempted Yorker perhaps. But it's good running. He does. Every now and then there's been good running between these two. The question is here, has Joylord come back in time? He's evicted the dive, which is good to see him putting his body on the line. But all the same, just waited to see what the third umpire, the TV umpire, Stanley Gogwe, will make a decision of this. He's the adjudicator behind the TV.
Got in, then came up, it doesn't matter. That's it.
Makes his ground, Joylord Gumbi. The decision there should be not out. It's unfortunate where that ball's bounced. It's bounced on the grass in the outfield, which is quite thick. So it hasn't gone flat and through to the keeper quickly. Pace has come off it when it's bounced. And that's given Joylord Gumbi a bit of extra time to make his ground. But as you say, Stanley, good that he's put the dive in. Not out to put on the big screen. He lives to bat a few more.
Coming in 5, huh? He's coming in 5.
I'll tell you what, he is looking good as Joylord. He's punched down the ground, and this has been a good aspect of their play today in this partnership. 223. But for me, the bowler who's been the difference in this 2 innings thus far has been Brad Evans. Up and above him pitching up the ball, he's found ways to use the short ball to great effect on this wicket. in the wickets column today is a mere regular. But Brad Evans was brilliant in the middle period, but that one just angling into Craig Irvin's pads. And hence not a spot of bother. An easy decision now for the umpire, Percival Cesaro, who comes in today. Once again, angled in, however.
What would be a maiden list 100. He has been outstanding today. Took his time early on. Had a look at the bowlers, gauged the pace of the wicket. Once he had spent a bit of time out in the middle, started to just show his ability to score. Both sides of the wicket. He's had a good understanding with Craig Irvin as well, running between the wickets.